Hey y'all, it is day 50 and 25 days left. It has indeed been a challenge. I have good days, I have bad days. This is my second workout of the day. And so thankfully I will not be up after midnight trying to finish a workout today. Pretty excited about that. Today I was reading an article because I've been doing a lot of research. That's just what I do. Like, I'm like a forever student, not necessarily in like a class or a school, but I love to learn new things. I want to read about the new studies that are out, really impatiently. Just a little fun fact about me. I'm waiting for all the studies to come out post-COVID, especially regarding young people who had COVID, young people who received the vaccine, maybe young people who did not, but we are seeing young people who are having heart attacks. And when I say young, I mean like 20-year-olds. So I'm really curious to see what those studies will look like. Fun fact, has nothing to do with weight loss, but that's why I read the studies, because I just want to see what they're finding. And what I'm learning about studies is it takes a long time for them to gather that data. So we may be looking at 2030 before we really start, or maybe even longer than that, before we'll start to see some of those studies trickle in, maybe next year, year after next. But like, to have really good qualitative and quantitative data, it is going to require a little bit of time to go by. So I pray to the good Lord that I am still around, still kicking, so that I can read them, because I'm interested. I did get the vaccine, so I'm definitely interested to see if, is that playing a part in why people are having heart problems? Is it because they had COVID? Is it because it's not everybody's overweight. Some of these people are perfectly healthy, but I digress. I will not stick there because I could talk about that for a long time. Today, in reading the article I was reading, source the FDA, of course, Food Drug Administration, they were talking about food labels. Now, I took a nutrition class when I was going to school, and one of the things they talked about was we have to be very careful and very vigilant to do our own reading beyond the advertisement. Anybody in marketing will tell you it's their job to grab your attention. And in order to grab your attention, they do that via the box, the big letters, the big words. They want to grab your attention. This is healthy. This is heart healthy. This is low fat. This is no trans fat. But one thing that I'm learning about trans fat is it may be trans fat free, which is usually it's got to be a meat source for it to have trans fat in it. But if it has partially hydrogenated oil or any sort of like vegetable oil or any of those things, don't you realize that clogs your arteries just the same way trans fat does? So is it great that potato chips don't have trans fat in it? I guess, but it's fried in oil. That can clog your arteries just the same way. If you eat a whole bunch of Ho-Hos and Twinkies and all these things, they use oil to make those things, to preserve those things, so they taste great. And what about the things that say no added sugar? Does that mean there's no sugar? No, y'all. Listen, you got to do your own research. I have been saying that since day one, because I'm no guru at anything. I know things, but nobody on the internet is. Do your own research. First of all, because your genetic makeup is yours. It's not the same as everybody else. So what this person does, what I did, it may not necessarily work for you. You have to do what works for your body. I've talked about what you can do to listen to your own body. Like, I've talked about the things that you can look out for, where your body is talking to you and telling you like, hey, this ain't working for me, sis. We probably shouldn't be eating this. Ice cream is not my friend. A lot of dairy products are not my friend. My body talks to me. For real. It talks to me. You're feeling bloated. You can't sleep. You're getting acne. That is your body responding to you, telling you, you can't have this. You should just, you can't have it. So stop having it. Or if you feel like you just gotta have it, let's talk about why. Let's talk about why it's worth the torture. For example, this might be TMI, my stomach gets tore up when I partake in ice cream or any sort of dairy products. Cheese, not so much, but definitely like milk or shakes. If it's not like made of almond milk or something like that, it's not good for me. So listen to your body. Are you bloated? Do you have acne? Are you having a hard time sleeping? Are you getting headaches? I used to get migraines. I don't get migraines anymore. It's been over a year since I changed my eating habits. Well, not technically, because I changed my eating habits in October. So it's been since October I have not had a migraine. That says a lot. Just because I eat a whole, healthy, pretty clean diet. I do have a Twizzler here and there, but and maybe some other sweet treats. But for the most part, I eat a pretty clean diet. And I drink 99% of the time high quality H2O, water. Nothing fancy, just water. So listen, read those labels for yourself. Do your own research. Sugar has many names. There are some ingredients out there in food that you probably should not partake in. But it requires you to do your own research. I'm not going to tell you that those ingredients that have these long, drawn out names you should not have. That's false. I've learned that in reading, because some vitamins are listed by their long scientific name, but it's still just vitamin B, vitamin, E. I don't know. They have long names. So don't think just because it has this long name that you shouldn't eat it. That is not 100% true. The best thing you can do for yourself is eat real whole food. Food that comes from the garden, food that can be grown, locally sourced food, lean meats, turkey, chicken, fish. Just be kind to your body. At the end of the day, you only get one. We just get one. Listen, I believe in you. I just need you to believe in yourself too. 25 days left to go. Have a good night.